Hey y'all, little old Black Eagle here. I thought I would make a little video and share a pretty significant day in the life of working on a lobster wharf. Um, so, one of the things that's required of anybody that works for our company is that you have to take survival training. And obviously, for the fishermen, the guys that go out on the boat, it's imperative. And my boss is, he doesn't just do the basic requirements. He, which, I mean, we hire a company, they come down, and probably I would say maybe once every 6 months or so, just basic training. They come, they check all the life suits on the boat. They check anything that could be a possible hazard on the boat. They check to make sure all of the medical kits are stocked and ready to go, and that everybody knows how to use everything that's there. And I mean, they don't have like a defibrillator or anything like that, but there's oxygen, there's every type of antiseptic, if anybody ever goes in the water, or any type of anaphylactic shock, or anything. There's so many scenarios that could happen on a boat that I can't even think of. But anyway, so this training, and I've been working for this company now since probably, like, I don't know, 2009, 2010, something like that. And for many years, I just drove delivery truck. I mean, I've done pretty much everything other than working on the boat, because I just don't. And I have no interest, and I'm not strong enough, yada, yada. But I still have to. But, in terms of my job, I know how to change tire. I know how to check an oil. I know how to change oil if I ever needed to. I mean, anything that I know how to check all the pumps at the wharf. I know how to make sure. I know how to tie ropes. And because one of the things that my boss is huge on is that, number one, there's no such thing as that's not my job. And the quickest way to get fired from the company is to be that person that's always like, well, if you're asked to do something and you don't feel like it, or it's not your job, or you feel you've done enough, that's pretty much an automatic dismissal. You're out of there. We don't need you. Because my boss, not only is he a good boss, but he's extremely generous with people that work for him, and their families and the community. It's just, number one, it's just the area that we live. Everybody, they're working slobs. People pitch in to help each other out. So if you come on board, and basically if you're lazy, if you just show up and you're not ready to jump in, that's a problem. And it extends to the point where, when I was delivering all the time, there were two or three of us, and depending on, sometimes I would do a Vermont run, which is a 4-hour drive, deliver all day, 4 hours home. sometimes there would be 2 trucks going. One would take half of the state, I'd take the other half, but we'd always meet up and drive home together. And regardless of whether I was working locally or if I was, doing the Vermont trip or whatever, we all, the motto is everybody home every day safely. And what we would do is I would get, a text or a call or whatever every time somebody came in from the water. I mean, I knew before I got back if all the fishermen were back okay, because that's just what we do. If they came home, if they finished their job, they're still going to get a text that, I'm on the road or I've gotten home, whatever. It's just a very tight knit community so that if ever anything goes wrong with anybody in the company, we all know about it. We don't particularly need anybody to, go out of their way to tell us because we keep in touch with each other. And so anyway, so like I said, I've worked the wharf, I've driven. We have a farmer's market in the summer and the fall. We set up at where I go and deliver and set up and sell lobsters up in the White Mountains. And, the bottom line is that our job is to sell lobster. And the goal is no matter how much our boss catches, we need to figure out how to move it, how to unload it. And we ship lobsters all over the country. I think I've shared before that, we do tuna fishing. When they go out tuna fishing, it's all hands on deck. I'm sitting at the wharf waiting for the call. 9 times out of 10, they don't catch anything. So, that's a little anticlimactic all the way around. But on the day, on that 10th day, or whatever day, they snag a tuna. From the time that they do, I get the call and I'm calling the distributor and getting everything ready for them to come down and pick it up as soon as the boat comes into the wharf. So anyway, one of the things that is required by law for the fishermen, anybody that's on a boat, running a boat, is that they take survival training. And for so many years, I was always like, well, why do I got to do it? Like, I'm never on the water. I'm not on a boat. And my boss was like, well, number one, if you work for the company, you need to do it. So there's that. And you just never know when you're going to need the skills that you learn in survival training. You just never know. Might not even be for work. Who knows? But the reason that I piss and moan about it is because the training is done this time of year and the water is fucking cold. I mean, it gives you a complete understanding of what it would be like and why, people perish if they go in the drink this time of year. The survival rate is very slim. But you have a better chance of surviving if you know how to get into your gear, if you know how to send out the SOS type things. It's more than just a flare. It's more than just a radio. And nowadays with cell phones and all of that, you have a higher probability of somebody getting the distress call, which is something that, prior to all of the ways of communication that just didn't happen. So anyway, I got to work this morning and it was cold. And I don't really have a lot to do this time of year. I go in and whatever, I do whatever needs to be done. I clean, I organize, I sort lobsters, I go and fill up any of the delivery trucks that are kicking around, make sure they've got air in their tire, blah 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 blah. And one of the fishermen who wasn't working today came down, and we're sitting there, we're shooting the shit, and this guy that docks at our wharf, he just rents a slip there, came in, and he was by himself, which is odd. Usually they at least have a stern man or somebody on the boat with them. Whatever. It was just this one guy. Name is Dale, and not really paying too much attention, and just I'm talking just by a hair. I was moving stuff around on the dock, and just as I was doing it, he was getting out of his boat and he slipped and he fell in the water. And the guy that normally isn't around was there with me. And we both ran down on the dock, and thank God, because the guy had knocked himself out. He fell, he hit his head, he went right in the water, and so the other guy jumped in and pushed him up from underneath the water. And luckily there was this sort of, I don't even know how to describe it. It was like a pole type thing that's right at the edge of the dock, and I was able to lock my foot onto that and pull while the other guy pushed, and got him up, and he ended up, sort of coming to. Didn't need to do mouth to mouth or anything like that, but the guy, he was pretty shaken up, obviously. He wasn't in any kind of gear other than just your regular bibs that they wear on the boat, which, it's better than nothing. It's not like he was just wearing jeans and a t-shirt or whatever. But yeah, it's like, holy shit. And it was pretty crazy. My boss came down after, and he was like, that's why you need to have that training. And I was like, I get it. It's like, you never know. I mean, who knows what could have happened. Luckily, it just ended up being a big fat holy fuck. Everybody went home at the end of the afternoon just going, oh my God, that was pretty intense. But so anyway, yeah, just another day for little old Black Eagle. Of course, I get home, I'm going, I'm too old for this shit. But anyway, thanks for taking a moment to listen to me babble.